Okay, sorry, wanted to make sure this was actually going. So welcome to your first lab, the 1.05 Cloud Lab. I just want to walk you through some useful places to go in order to get some information about this lab. Um, so hopefully you had, since you're watching this video, you've already gotten this far. You've gotten to the 1.05 laboratory part. And the recording you're watching was in here. There's going to be a second recording in here that actually is another teacher performing a very similar lab to this one. It is geared towards middle school age children, so some of the explanation that he has is a little bit simplified for this class, but it's definitely something useful, and it helps you as far as the procedure goes with this lab. But just to help as far as getting everything turned in and answered, I want to walk you through some of the other things. First off, all of your lab procedures are in the lesson introduction. This is one of the most easily looked over things because a lot of times this introduction doesn't have a whole lot of information in there. But something that's useful for all lesson introductions is the student guide. For regular lessons, it gives you questions and ideas for how to take notes. For labs, it has your procedure. Okay, so you need a 2-liter clear plastic bottle, a watch, or you can use your phone as a stopwatch, matches, and then there's beakers in your kit. You can use one of those for the water measurement. And then down here, this is your procedure. So you pour 200 milliliters of cold water in a 2-liter plastic bottle. Make sure it's good and cold. Okay, if you need to, maybe throw some ice in a cup for a few minutes before actually starting the lab. And then you just read through, follow these directions as they say. The first time around you shake. When you add smoke, you don't shake. Okay, something to pay attention to. Another thing is when you're adding the smoke to the bottle, you want to light the match, blow it out, and then don't throw it in the water right away. Let it kind of just put it right inside the mouth of the bottle and let as much smoke as you can get released from the match inside the bottle. Okay, and then you're going to repeat the same thing with hot water. Right? Don't go too hot on the hot water because then you'll end up getting a lot of steam in the bottle, which kind of looks like a cloud, but that's not a cloud, that's just steam. Okay, so maybe used in, you don't need to heat the water up any more than your regular faucet would. Right, and then you'll do without smoke and then with smoke with hot water. Okay, so of course, since you're using matches, be careful. Fire hurts. If for some reason you don't have matches, but you at least have a lighter or something, you might have maybe like skewers or something, or some sort of like wooden stick that you could light. What you need something that's not going to burn so quickly that it all of a sudden burns your fingertips, and something that you'll be able to blow out and it'll give off smoke. So blowing out a lighter doesn't give off smoke. So this is the lab procedure, which always opens up in a new tab. So if you go back to the original tab, you're back into the lesson here. The next part, laboratory cloud formation. The next two parts are really important to read through. This goes through the actual process of forming a cloud, how it works, why it works. Okay? This is going to help you use appropriate terminology when answering your lab report. All right? You should use key vocabulary from your lessons as much as possible in answers. And there's definitely a word in here that I'm going to be looking for in your lab report, so make sure you read through this. Okay? As well as, so that laboratory lesson is going to be really important. This investigation gives you general safety guidelines, always a good thing to read, along with the safety alerts here. And then the last part in the lab is the Dropbox area where you're going to turn in your lab. This is also where you will get the lab paper. Okay, so you're going to download that. It's a Word document, so you'll either need Microsoft Office or a free version such as LibreOffice or OpenOffice. And then first part is just your observations, what you're seeing. Be specific to the cloud part. All right. And then second question is, why do you think the presence of smoke contributed to cloud formation? This is where a key vocabulary term needs to be used. To get full credit here, you make sure you read through that laboratory lesson. All right, there's a vocabulary word in there. It's actually a pair of words that the smoke is acting as to form the cloud. Okay. And then when it comes to the third question here, what role did pressure play? You gotta think about it. At some point you're squeezing the bottle, which means pressure is increasing. And then you let go of the bottle, which means pressure is decreasing. So think about when, either squeezing the bottle or releasing the bottle, when did the cloud look most formed? Okay, and that's how you're going to answer the role of pressure. And then this set of questions here is just making sure that you kind of understand the laboratory lesson. So you can pick out which of these scenarios would lead to cloud formation. It's not just one, there are actually three. Okay, and explain to me what in the statement is saying that clouds will form here versus the ones that they won't. Okay, so make sure you explain your answer down here. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me. Also, feel free to watch the associated video with this. It's a good example of how to do it, as well as some more explanation. Just keep in mind that that video is geared towards middle schoolers, so the content isn't as in-depth as what you're getting in here. All right, good luck with your first lab.